Hi, students, and all the listeners on our channel today. I have the honor of introducing to you Dr. Anagha Puntambaker. She has a rank 19 in this year's PGI June 2020 exam, and we are very proud of her achievement because PGI is such a prestigious institute, and to get into top 20 in this kind of institute is a grand achievement. So,
Thank you so
Anagha,
much, sir.
how are you feeling today?
So I'm feeling very happy, and I'm feeling very blessed. And I think this is the result of like all the hard work that I put in, as well as all of your efforts and my parents and everybody's blessings. And so yeah, I'm very lucky.
And what was your first reaction when you saw your rank?
Um, I was happy, and also actually, to be honest, I was kind of relieved because then I wouldn't have to go about with the AIIMS counseling procedure, because that was a bit uh, kind of bit hectic for me. And now like I can easily go to PGI and probably get the seat that I want. So
And what is that seat that you're looking for?
I want to pursue pediatrics.
Great, great. I'm sure you'll make a great pediatrician. So, I'll start off by asking you a very important question that you
Yes,
have given this PGI exam and you have gotten a very good rank in this exam. There
yes,
are
sir.
sometimes, a lot of students they want to know from the good rankers because PGI has a very complicated marking system and a
Yes,
PGI
yes,
formula. So, how many choices did you mark? Like there were 1250 decision points. Do
yes,
you have
sir.
any idea how many decision points did you mark in the PGI exam? And
um,
what was your strategy during the exam, which has got you so far?
Actually, like I don't really recall how many number of exact number of points I marked, but I left some 6 questions unattempted.
Okay.
Otherwise, I attempted all questions, like at least one option I marked. And more or less, I found that the PG exam it tests more of your broad concept and understanding rather than more of fact based. So, like if your base is good, then I guess you can do better in this exam. And yeah, it's always very important to have a cool and calm mind when you're giving the exam. And I think I was more relaxed during this exam than my other exams, so that kind of helped me in this.
I think that also happens that AIMS usually chronologically happens as the first exam, and you have
Yeah.
too much apprehension at that time, and by the time you
Yes.
reach the next exam, the apprehension goes off. And plus, we all have that AIMS idea also, that I have to do well, and that creates that pressure also sometimes. I'm
Yes, sir.
sure you have done even better in the JIPMAR exam, and I'm looking forward for that interview as well.
I hope so, sir, with your blessings, surely.
Yeah. So, beta, you have been a DAMS AIMS TND course student. You joined the app-based TND AIMS course that we have launched this year on the Medicos app. So,
Yes,
how was
sir.
your experience with the test and discussion course?
So the test and discussion course was very useful, and I think everyone who is attempting for AIMS should definitely have this, because like the discussion was very specific. Like they covered AIMS specific points and Central Institute exam specific points, and so because it's not possible to read everything, all the subjects, so then we'll know what areas we should focus on, and that really helps, especially when you have like only 5 months to give your exams. So that's a very important part, I feel. Plus, the tests were they really reflected the AIMS level, like the level of difficulty of the questions. It matched the AIMS level, AIMS standard of questions.
Were you happy with the quality of questions that we had selected? Because our goal is to create a precise product. Like anybody can create 100,000 questions or two lakh questions, but the key is to create those 50 questions or 100 questions where we have handpicked them to reflect the real exam pattern. Were you happy with the quality of questions selected and the variety of patterns that we tried to reflect in that paper?
Yes, sir, definitely. Like I think you guys analyze the previous pattern of AIMS exams, and then that's how you got to know what they were focusing on. And that, like, you always told this in your videos, and this is what I learned, that I should focus more on the specific exam specific points rather than trying to read everything, because that is not even possible. So it really helped me.
Were you happy with the variety of questions that we have on the TND course?
Yes, sir, definitely. Like they covered the exam specific points, and that really helped me narrow down on my areas to focus while preparing for these exams. So it was very useful for me.
And when you were attending those sessions on the app, and you were, understanding from the teachers. Any particular teachers come to your mind today when you look back at your journey?
Sir, one Saurabh Sharma sir, who taught ophthalmology, was definitely like before his class. Ophthalm was a very difficult subject for me, but then he made it so simple that I really began to like ophthalm after that. So that was very inspiring. Then then of course Deepthi ma'am's classes were amazing. Like she would cover everything you need to know for the exams in her lectures. So that was very nice. And your class was obviously amazing too. Um, then yeah, the Damat class was also very good. Like sir taught everything, like all the exam aim specific points he covered very nicely, and that was very nice. Yeah. But otherwise, all the subjects were taught really well, and I'm very thankful to all those teachers. So yeah.
And this year in the PGI exam, they had a small bit of twist. They added visuals also. So
Yes,
were
sir.
you happy that, when you were preparing for AIMS? I think that in a way also prepared you for a PGI twist also.
Yes, sir, that's true. And the thing is, like, if you're preparing for all these exams, we don't really see like if they ask like they might change the pattern a bit. But if you have done your preparation, basic preparation well, then I don't think you should have any problem, even if there's some twist in the exam. So I thought it was okay if they asked a little bit of visuals. It's fine.
Yeah. Whether if you can correct me here, what I feel is that many people, what they are, trying to focus on one exam. While what I see every year, the toppers are trying to understand the subjects, and they are able to do well in multiple exams. So what do you think is the right strategy? Should we go exam specific, only one exam specific, or should we have a broader approach?
So I think we should definitely have a broader approach because, like in my experience, I think I prepared more for AIMS. Like I did all of the AIMS past year papers, and after that I was kind of tired, so I didn't find time to do all the PGI papers at all. But still, I did much better in PGI exam than in AIMS exam. So you can never tell because the pattern keeps changing. So as long as you have your concepts covered in all the subjects, then you can do very well in all the exams. So I feel we should have a broad approach rather than exam specific. But yeah, definitely, like some exam specific preparation also you should do depending on where you want to go.
I think what I believe is that the beginning of the journey it should be more broad based, and maybe week before, 2 weeks before the exam, 3 weeks before the exam, you should get an idea on what the exam is focusing on. Like for example, I will ask you a next question here. What topics do you think were more important for PGI exam? Like what subjects and what topics? After
Uh,
you have
in
been to this time.
in PGI exams, I think they asked a lot of surgery, medicine, like all these subjects which are anyway important for all the exams. They focus a lot of on medicine, surgery, then biochemistry, of course. Like PGI exams, they ask a lot of biochemistry. So, and those were the subjects because I had very little time between my AIMS and PGI exam. I tried to focus more on these PGI specific subjects where they tend to ask more difficult questions. So that was helpful.
And in addition to this, I would also want to know that you have now given the JIPMER exam also. And this
Yes, sir.
time, the JIPMER exam was, I think, a moderately difficult JIPMER exam as compared to what they have done in the past.
Yes,
So,
sir,
what was
definitely.
the JIPMER exam?
Yes, sir. I was kind of relieved to see that there were no out of these world questions like the pattern that is with usual JIPMER exams. It was a much more doable paper, and yeah, some JIPMER specific things were there. Like they focus more on like there were two questions on narcolepsy, and some psychiatry points that they tend to focus on every year. They got repeated. JIPMER has a tendency to repeat its questions, and that was there. But yeah, otherwise, the paper was much more doable as compared to the previous years. So that was a relief.
Yeah, I feel for all three central institutes, looking at the previous papers, at least for last 2 3 years, gives you an idea on the topics that they are, more fond of asking. And I think that
Yes,
always
sir.
helps.
Yes, sir.
And,
Definitely.
but the good thing was this time in JIPMER, they did not have those rare syndromes and rare genes and
Yes,
rare
sir.
drugs. This was, I
Because
think, a
if
more.
yes, so those questions, if they ask those questions, then it all comes down to your luck. If you are able to mark the right option by chance, then you are in. So
I think this time the paper was good. I think.
yes, sir. Definitely, it was good.
And how was your experience with the AIMS capsule on the Medicos app? Did you have with your subscription for the TND? You also had the AIIMS capsule. How was your experience with the AIIMS capsule and how useful it was for your revision?
So AIMS capsule was extremely helpful for the revision because say 1 month before the exam, I was very clueless about how I will be able to revise all these 19 subjects again. So then I would just watch these AIMS capsule videos, and then I went through the past year question papers because I didn't have time to do much more than any more than this. So and these videos were again, the faculty would tell us what is more important for these exams, and then I would go and read those points to be specific. So yeah, it was very helpful.
And did you also appear for the AIIMS mock or the AIIMS CBT that we conducted? Did you appear for any of those before the exam?
Yes, sir. I attended both the CBT and the AIMS mock test.
How was your experience with the test and the quality of questions, and what was your rank?
My experience was good. Like those questions, they gave me an idea about how level was, and actually my CBT rank wasn't good at all. My CBT rank was some 1300, and my AIMS mock test rank was 300. But then I realized that I still need to improve further on this, and that gave me the boost to read more, and then that's why I was able to come this far.
I think that the initial CBT turned like an eye opener for you, and you put your pedal down on your preparation, and you kind of bugged up and you worked more
Yes,
after that.
sir. Yes, sir. It was very helpful. It was a good boost.
And there are some questions that a lot of students would want to know from you is that how many revisions were you able to manage before the central exams this year? And what did you appear for the NEET PG exam before? If yes, what was your rank in the last year's exam?
I gave my NEET PG exam in Jan 2020. That time my rank was 8,000 something. Yeah, and
So
then
8,000 rank in NEET PG to
yes,
a rank of 19 in PGI exam, which is an awesome, awesome improvement in a period of 6 months. Tell us more about it.
yes, sir. So, but that NEET PG exam I had given without any preparation. So I was hoping that with some amount of preparation, maybe I would be able to do this. And plus, with the efforts put by DAMS faculty and all this input that I got from you guys, I was really able to understand what would be helpful for me to reach my goal. So that was very helpful. And as far as revision is concerned, I think it depends more on the individual. Like it depends on how you are reading in your first reading. So for me, I am a slow reader, so I take more time in my first reading. But then I am able to retain it more. So I read it for once completely, and then I was able to revise it for once more completely, and then after that I revise only the important subjects, the important topics again. So yeah, that was that.
Do you think that the delay that happened in the exam proved to be your benefit, that you got a little bit more time and you converted a crisis into an opportunity?
It was very beneficial, sir. I don't know what I would have done if the delay hadn't happened, because I was kind of lagging behind in my preparation. So this delay was a blessing in disguise, definitely.
Ananga, but I also want to know from you, and a lot of people who are listening to us today would want to know from you, like, what is it that makes you an high achiever in life? Like, every high achiever has academics, revision, mentors, but there is something called as mindset. So, what do you tell yourself, and what makes you the high achiever that you are?
Um, Sir, I think that academics, so everybody does, and everybody is reading the same material. But yeah, as you said, mindset is very important. And like I, in one of the interviews, Deepthi ma'am had said that it's very important to be upbeat when you're preparing, and it's very important to not have a plan B and just give everything to for this goal right in front of you. So that's what I did. Like I tried to stay as positive as possible, and also I had the company of my friends. A lot of my friends also got good ranks, and we would study together. And whenever we would feel low, we would boost each other up, and that was very helpful. So I think this positive energy kind of helped me keep going on, and that's what I did at the last.
Do you think that DAM's team not only helped you with the academics, they also helped you with your mindset? Do you think we were able to, help you at the right times?
Yes, sir, definitely. Like the best part of DAMS faculty was even while teaching, they would tell us something. They would give us some inspirational quote, and at the end of every lecture, they would end with something inspiring. And like they would always say, "No matter what happens, never give up." And this was very helpful because we know that you have all gone through the same thing, and that's why coming from you it matters a lot because like you are our role models, and we are just following your path. So it was very helpful.
We are really really proud of your the entire journey that you have had, and we are really proud of the improvement that you have made. And I'm sure that you will rise and shine in life as a great pediatrician, and I'm sure JIPMER exam will give us another opportunity to us to interview you. But
Thank you so much, sir.
before we sign off for today, I want you to give a message to future aspirants, like how do they become the high achiever that you have become.
Okay, so what I would like to tell my friends is that no matter what happens, you should never give up. That is the most important thing. Keep going, and you should always listen to what your teachers are saying because they know much, much better than you. They have seen it all, and if you just keep on following your dreams, you will one day surely reach those dreams. So yeah, you should you should never give up, and you will finally achieve success for sure.
And another question that I have from my side, that you have seen a little bit of ups and downs. Like you had a busy internship, you had a 8,000 rank in the NEET exam, you
Yes.
had a POK rank in the AIIMS exam, but now you come back at a top 20 in PGI. So what did you tell yourself when the results were not favorable to you?
I told myself that like there are always ups and downs in our life. It is a part of our life, and I would just block everything else, and I was like, I just have to keep going forward. Like that's the only path, and no matter what happens, I have to give it my best shot, and then we'll see what happens at the end. So yeah, and again
Uh,
the support of my parents and my teachers, everybody that kept me going.
And I totally agree that we need a buffer system of family and friends to pass that phase. And what she has beautifully told us is that there will be ups and downs in life. That is for sure. And we need to because I think what everybody is nowadays learning is to how to handle when you are on the up, but you also need to know how to handle when you are on a low, so that you can make that comeback, and in the average you will win. But you will not win every game. But now
Yeah.
today that she has a top 20 rank in PGI Chandigarh, she can take a branch of her choice in a great institute. Now that averages out. But if we look back, there will be days where she was also on a low phase. So I think what she has managed very well is she has managed a great comeback. She has converted a crisis into an opportunity with a delay in the exam. She said, "Okay, I will study more." She had a not so good rank in the first CPT, but the second mock, she came back big, and she came back big in the PGI exam. So, I think she has a fighter spirit. Tell me about it, Anagha. Do you tell yourself that if the things don't go right, you become okay? I will show it like that. Are you that
Yeah,
kind of?
like when things get more difficult, then that is a time that you have to show your fighting spirit and you have to keep on moving forward no matter what. And that really helped me. Like I think I have always been this positive kind of person, and this mindset has helped me a lot. And I think everybody should have this positive mindset in order to achieve what they want. So like no matter what happens, if you keep on fighting, you will one day you will definitely get what you want. So yeah,
Anagha, I'll say a line, and I want you to complete that line for me. Okay? When the going gets tough.
tough gets going.
Yes, and that is what she is, and I'm very, very proud of her achievement. And I am sure, what that is what she does. But this is what I've understood by talking to her. That what she's doing is every time she has a not so good rank or not so good CBT result, she tells herself that now I will make a comeback. And now she has made a comeback in style, and I'm sure we will hear more about her after the JIPMA result. I have my fingers crossed for her. I wish you all the best, Beta, and
Thank
I'm
you so
sure you
much,
will
sir.
have a great, great life as a doctor, as a a specialist in future as well. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.